We don't always like to use a tripod, but it shouldn't be a choice out of laziness. Handheld camera movement tells a certain visual story, and there are more things to pay attention to than we might think. So let me share 5 tips with you for better handheld movements. What up guys, Jordy here for Cinecom.net and welcome to the Creative Filmmaking channel. Now, holding the camera with your hands might seem super simple, but unwanted shaky footage will not be appreciated by the audience. The kind of motion you're creating has to fit with the scene. First off, we need to understand why we're going handheld. Handheld movement adds a lot of drama in the shot. It's also considered to be more natural from a person's point of view, because our head also doesn't sit still. So therefore, it's often used to increase the realism of a scene. But a love drama or a gunfight require 2 different handheld movements. In tip number 1, we'll have a look at the gentle camera movement, often used to increase that realism without adding too much drama. The idea is to try and get a stable shot. So you want to try anything to lock your camera tight to your body, perhaps lean to a wall or to a tree. What you want to avoid now is that your camera will start to shake. Instead, you want to move the camera gently around. Now here's an exaggerated example where you see the camera shake on the left side and camera movement on the right side. What helps is that you move the camera on your breathing. As you breathe in, you let the camera move upwards with your body and downwards as you breathe out. The second handheld movement is what I call locking the talent in. Someone who has been busted or is trapped, we can emphasize that situation by taking a close-up of that person and trying everything we can to keep him in the frame. This means that when the person is moving around, we follow him. We even adjust our framing on the smallest movements. This creates tension and focuses on the talent, which adds more drama to the scene. The eyes of the audience is locked on the character. He has no place to go. The third handheld tip is emphasizing certain actions. Sudden movements like someone jumping off a rock. When that person lands, we can increase the power of the landing by shaking our camera in that direction of the movement. Here's another example where Janik is boxing, and to increase the power of his fists hitting the tree, I moved the camera a bit further in that direction that he's hitting. A great technique to use during fight scenes, and it's much harder for the audience as well to focus on the details, and therefore the staged fight mistakes won't be that noticeable. Now, thanks to our sponsor Videoblocks, we're able to publish so many tutorials each week. They have a huge library of stock footage, video effects, and templates. And for only $149 per year, you can download as much as you want from their library that is constantly being updated as well. And by following the first link in the description below, you can get a 7-day free trial to check it out. So make sure to visit that link. But first, let's have a look at 2 more tips for handheld movement. The fourth one is adapting to the scene. We're going back to Janik, who is fighting with a tree. We're bouncing the camera with his movements, but obviously he's losing. So he has to give up. As he stops fighting, becoming calmer, the camera movement will also too. Like in the first tip, after the heavy camera movement, I now breathe on the same pace as Janik does, and so my camera movement will adapt. The audience also gets to rest because of that change in camera motion. And then the last tip is to experiment. The camera movement from the film Deadpool got also some attention because it had some organic touch to it. The camera operator was gently slanting the camera back and forward. It adds a lot of dynamic to it and works great if you're rolling over the ground or next to a wall. I recently shot a promotional video for a graffiti artist, and adding such experimental movements definitely works great for that scene. Here I also roll next to a wall, or I would use other objects to push the camera through. In this shot I had my camera vertical and slowly rotated to create this artistic dynamic movement. Now we're putting out multiple videos a week, so if you want to see more creative tips and tricks, make sure to subscribe to our channel. You can do so by clicking that nice round button here above my head. Thank you so much for watching, and stay creative.